The West Virginia Association of Realtors is 100 years strong.
Our job is one of advocacy, both to protect the profession and the integrity of the profession, but also to protect the personal property rights of the citizens of West Virginia.
The West Virginia Association of Realtors is steeped in rich history and tradition that started a century ago. When the group first originated, it was called the West Virginia Real Estate Association. It was founded during a two-day convention in Charleston on September 24th and 25th in 1918. Approximately 80 real estate professionals from across the state were in attendance for this momentous occasion. When the association was formed, there were only two real estate boards in the state, Charleston and Wheeling. The state association was formed to unite all those selling real estate, grow the industry, and promote legislation. The group's first president was Boyce Miller of Charleston. In a speech, he said, "The principal achievement of the association during its first year was added membership. The number of members more than doubled, from 80 to about 160. Plus, during the first year, 4 new real estate boards were organized in Huntington, Parkersburg, Clarksburg, and Fairmont. The growing membership base helped give the association a voice at the state capitol in Charleston, at the time located in this Victorian Gothic building. In 1920, the association's president, Boyce Miller, fought to do away with the tax placed on agents, or dealers as they were called at the time.
We are taxed now, not licensed. The act under which our so-called license is provided for places a like tax on circuses, street carnivals, pawnbrokers, peddlers, and games of chance, etc. We are classified with the undesirables, those that are tolerated for revenue purposes only. Would it not be ridiculous for someone to propose a tax on lawyers, doctors, and dentists for revenue purposes? I trust and feel sure that you will all agree with me that the present license law is antiquated and no longer meets with the requirements of the profession.
Nearly 20 years later, in 1937, the state legislature created the West Virginia Real Estate Commission. For the first time, real estate agents and brokers were required to have a license.
When I sit back and think as we celebrate our 100th anniversary, 100 years ago, there was no code of ethics, there were no real estate laws, and it was kind of like the Wild West. The code of ethics predates most real estate law in the country, here and other places, and it was the real estate profession's answer to the fact that they were unregulated and the fact that there were a lot of scamming and unscrupulous practice. And so they said, we're going to regulate ourselves because no one else is. And that's the beauty of the Code of Ethics and the beauty of this organization, because 100 years later, that message is still the same.
I'm very proud to be a realtor, and that's why I wear my pin all the time. Many people ask me about it, and I'm very proud to wear the realtor pin because the significance of it says we're a professional.
In January 1936, the West Virginia Association of Realtors was admitted into membership with the National Association of Realtors, or NAR, the largest trade association in the United States. West Virginia was the 8th state welcomed into the National Association.
I've traveled to many of the national conventions. We learn what all of the other states are doing as realtors. I'm just so proud to be a part of it.
One of the biggest benefits of joining the NAR came in 1949 when the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office approved the NAR's registration of the term realtors.
Anybody could be a realtor in the olden days, and they weren't realtors, they were real estate agents. There's a difference. A real estate agent has no code as far as they have their own individual code, but a realtor has a code that's been handed down from national to the state of morals and how to do things and to make sure that the public is taken care of.
When the West Virginia Association of Realtors was formed, it was predominantly made up of men. It wasn't until the late 1930s that women became more active in selling real estate. In 2015, the West Virginia Association of Realtors partnered with the Women's Council of Realtors, a national network with the purpose of advancing women as professionals and leaders in business, industry, and communities. Today, more than half of the state's membership is female.
This is a career where our schedules are more flexible, so it works better than having a 9-to-5 job for any woman that has a family at home, because we can make our schedules, and so we're more flexible that if we need to go do carpool or pick up kids from sporting events or whatever, we're available still.
The way realtors do business has also changed over the years.
Well, we had Xerox copies of contracts. We had to go to different offices to get keys to go into a house. Today we have the MLS system, which lets us go in houses because they have lock boxes. We don't do carbon copies anymore. We use the computer. And we send contracts to other companies without going in the car and delivering them.
West Virginia Association of Realtors offers its members discounts on insurance rates, networking opportunities, access to free legal advice, and continuing education opportunities.
One of the most important things was we got continuing education, and we were forcing our membership to go back and keep up to date on what was transpiring in real estate. The world moves pretty fast, and sometimes we forget that there's a world out there, and the only way we can do that is by mixing it up with others and learning what's going on, and continuing education is one aspect of that.
Members have a long history of community service. For example, in June 2016, realtors across the state raised money for flood victims, delivered truckloads of goods, and helped clean up houses in the flood zone.
It impacted me personally. I know it impacted a lot of our members. It's hard to talk about without not getting choked up a little bit.
The association received thank you notes from across the state, expressing gratitude for the help realtors provided flood victims.
It was a very, very humbling experience, and of all the wonderful things that we've done and all the wonderful things that the members of this association have done, I don't think anything I've seen has ever reached the height of that effort in 2016 with the floods. It was just an amazing thing to watch and to be a part of.
Today, the association has grown to include 16 boards across the Mountain State and nearly 3,000 members.
I think the association has continued to grow and be strong because of its leadership.
I'm really proud that we've made it 100 years, and hopefully we'll make it another 100 years. I think the future of our association is very bright. We have a lot of upcoming leaders that are going through our state leadership academy, and so I think that we're on the right track. We'll be in good hands.
The folks that started this association aren't alive anymore, but I think they are. I think they're alive in the spirit of this generation of realtors, and I think that 100 years from now, who's ever sitting in this chair during the 200th year anniversary video will say the same thing, that the spirit of everyone that's gone before is still alive in the association today, and that's what makes it strong and successful.
Celebrating 100 years of excellence, West Virginia Association of Realtors.